Yes, the agenda is on the website. Thank you, Naomi, or whoever did it. Okay, good. Thank you, Bruce. I'll just quickly check whether the minutes are available for us and townspeople. Yeah, the minutes are there too.
Do you have Wi-Fi there, Bruce?
Yep.
What do I need?
It's on the board.
Oh, I thought you were just pointing
No.
to the ether. Yes, me too.
All right, I'm still hoping for another member or two, but it is around 7 o'clock, so does anyone else need to read the minutes before we could discuss whether there were changes needed? Good, okay. My thoughts on them was that I wondered if we'd like to have a little more information. Liz did very, concise, what we approved.
The general topics is fine. You don't need to get into detail.
Yeah. If people were interested in the discussion, for instance, about
You know what,
usage.
I've seen, the planning board does it in their minutes. Right in the beginning of the minutes, they actually have the link to the YouTube video.
Oh,
So you put the link up there and see, people read the minutes online, and they want to know more information, they could just link right to the YouTube video.
okay. Well, before I call the meeting to order, we do need someone to take the minutes. If Liz isn't going to be here, I could jot down the basics if...
I can do that while you're writing.
Can you, Chris? Thank you, appreciate it. All right, then I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:02. Members present, Steve Bartlett, Bruce Fillmore, Laurie McKenzie, Chris Conroy, and David Erickson, Chair. The agenda for tonight would be discussing what we thought about, or first modifying or approving the minutes.
If you want to, you're the chairman, as a chairman, you can just appoint one of the alternates to fill in for a missing member.
Because I considered you a member, no?
Yeah,
Three.
but is it, oh,
We'd love to have you come up and
I'm
join
an
us.
alternate, so.
yeah, she's an alternate, so
I'm an alternate.
you're missing a member, right? You got
So-
one.
I see.
Do you need, if you need 4?
Well, you don't need to, but I mean, it's common
Yeah, I
to
think it
fill in
makes
missing
sense.
members by appointing an alternate as a voting member for the night.
I would appoint you if you're willing.
Sure.
All right, Laurie McKenzie will be a voting member tonight.
Woo-hoo.
Yay!
Oh, no need.
Maybe not.
Never mind. Never mind.
Welcome.
I tried.
I know. No, trust me. I'm good.
People with children get a special dispensation.
And you are off the hook.
All
Good for
right,
you.
so we were just going to discuss, see if there was any discussion of the
I
minutes.
can't do it. I can't.
Next on the agenda is the Kearsarge Energy offer. See if we want to maybe make a recommendation or a report to the board on that. Discussion on the audits, which we now have all 4. The Barrington Solar contract, and then any other business, which I actually thought of something else on energy contracts for the town. I think we might want to get to work on, so that would be under other business, since I didn't think to post it. So just to start, any amendments, changes for the minutes?
Wasn't here, so.
They seem very concise and professional to me,
It
so,
looked fine to me.
okay. I would move that we approve them as read, or as we read them individually. A second?
I'll second that.
All right. Bruce seconds. And would you like a few minutes to get yourself set up so we're not rushing you?
Were you able to get on the Wi-Fi?
Yes.
I was unhappy. It shows them connected, just not happy.
I mean, it's not strong, but it exists.
Yeah, no, it shows that it's connected.
Don't know what to tell you.
So we can have the vote on approving the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Good. Anyone abstaining? Anyone opposed? So,
Did the meeting open at
7:02.
7:02? Thank you.
call the meeting to order. All right, and so we have 5 in favor of accepting the minutes as written.
So Bruce, did you move the motion to accept the minutes, and David, did you second?
Dave moved, I seconded.
Yep.
You want to turn your mic on down there?
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right, next on the agenda, which will not come up for some reason, but in my scratchy notes, we're gonna discuss the Kearsarge energy offer that Steve Bartlett became aware of, and he brought in Malcolm Bliss, I think was his name.
Correct.
Yeah, who presented us with what they would offer, which, it's a 20-year agreement. We can't change it after signing, and it's based on the assumption, his offer wasn't exact, because it was based on the assumption of 300,000 kilowatt hours per year for the town use. And it would provide the town with $2,700 for the first year, and increasing up to $3,900 in the year 20, paid monthly. Might be higher in the summer, lower in the winter. My concern was that we couldn't then add generation capacity that would, for any of those buildings. That's what my worry about it,
Yeah.
that we'd be locked in.
What does that mean, generation capacity? Say that.
Say we wanted to put solar on something at the transfer station, but we're getting this money that's saying it's offsetting the energy use at that facility. I don't think we can do that. That was my understanding in talking with him. And it's, it is some money.
Would that include the town safety complex, the grant? that
He
we're-
said he could just, since that's a existing possibility, that could just be cut out of the deal.
Oh, okay.
But if we wanted to do something on another town building,
Huh.
I think we couldn't. Did you have any different opinion on that, Steve?
No, it's pretty straightforward. You take the buildings that you had bills for, which no one ever provided, and then Southware Fire Station, the library, whatever, and you would, basically, they're required by statute to provide, to public entities, reimbursement. So, but to get a correct price, you would need the bill,
Yep.
so they
Did-
know what they're using.
Did you ever have those, Chris, or should I go back to Beth?
I did get,
When you were, did Margaret Dillon, the auditor, want those?
yes.
So I'm sorry, I apologize, Steve, that I meant to ask Chris rather than bothering Beth the second time, and I forgot.
Yeah, I do have that from the fuel info, that's what we're looking at. No, that was the last thing that I've got. I don't have anything else, I'm sorry,
You
Beth. give me
don't
that.
have electric?
I don't, no. I
Okay.
think Margaret got that information. I didn't get that.
She got it direct. Okay, so I should have gone ahead and asked Beth. I'd like some discussion on whether we'd like to send a report or a recommendation to the select board. I think it's good that the board knows that this is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, could you get a sample of their contract?
I can ask him for one if we have it. I would assume so. I don't know. I can ask him for a copy of his contracts, or a sample of.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
yeah, that way the selectmen could have something to look at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then I can kind of explain it to them, but if you get a sample of the contract, then,
Yeah.
And
I mean, we're not talking a lot of money, but it's money.
it's money, right?
And so what the heck? And
Right,
if
right.
it's free, it's for me.
Yep,
The what the heck part for me is entering into a 20-year contract that might tie our hands for an opportunity that might be more lucrative than $2,000 to $3,000 a year, or, maybe 3 to 4, but all told, 20 years, how much money are we talking about over a 20-year period where we won't be able to explore other opportunities? It's like we get $2,700, and that's what I'm not clear about. I'm not really comfortable about what we're denying ourselves moving forward by taking the $2,700 and best case scenario, not even 4,000 20 years later. I'm just not sure about that.
Well, that's fine, but I think you're wasting the time and energy, because at this point, there aren't any other lucrative contracts coming down the pike. There aren't solar on every other building. There won't be solar on every other building, I'm sorry to say, based on what's going on in the country right now. And the cost of solar is not that great, so that, you get a bunch of it. You get some free money to help offset property taxes, and you're kind of blowing it away. I mean,
Well,
yes, it's not a lot of money.
no,
I
it
understand.
isn't a lot of money. $2,700 is such a drop in the bucket. But I think for me, if Kearsarge, at the very least, I would like to see Kearsarge's competitor. I'd like to see
I
if,
don't know there is one.
I don't think there is one.
okay, well, then, I don't know. Is that concerning to us or not? Entering,
You have other towns similar to Ware that are taking the offer
Yeah, I think,
without an issue. And as far as I know, they're taking the offer. Kearsarge is required by law to provide public entities, which this is one of them, a rebate on their electric bills. Electric bills in this state aren't cheap, so anything you provide, anything that you use to lower that, I think is a positive.
It was my take that it wouldn't be wouldn't be a problem for us to get out of it anyway. The contract is more so they can't throw us out for 20 years.
Correct.
that's,
Sounded like it to me.
that's not what he said. He said we,
Well, I mean, you take the South Ware Fire Station, you're never gonna put a solar array on that, based upon the amount of trees and everything else around it. You go start cutting down trees to put a solar array on it, I can guarantee that somebody else will be standing here telling you, what are you doing cutting trees down?
mm-hmm,
So, I look at it as a a plus and a positive. Right now, community power is behind the eight ball, so
Yeah.
this is something that comes out of here that's positive.
And I don't think that community power would, I think we could go ahead with community power if it ever became a plus, you know, logical choice again. But I just did a, I'll get right back to you, Chris. Just some quick math, say the average amount per year was 3,200, times 20 years is 64,000, so, you know, it adds up to something. Yeah,
Yeah.
what you were gonna say?
So this agreement, the only thing would preclude us from would be generating our own power. Is that the
That's my
only- That's the
understanding.
only thing that we would not be able to do. So again, if community power, something else comes along that, you know,
Yeah,
who knows?
I'm not sure if community power is gonna be viable for a while, though. I mean, if
I'm not
if
saying
is
it makes
again-
sense or anything, but I just don't wanna, you know,
But community power isn't generation.
understood, that's what I'm saying, so I'm just confirming if that's,
Right.
if that's the only thing that it cuts out. And if
Yeah.
we can, and we can carve out the safety complex, should that go through, I guess it's sort of also like, is it like included if we don't get it, cut it out if we do get it, that would be, you know, the grant, if the solar gets
I
installed.
mean, you look at certain buildings in certain places, and you can pretty much pick and choose where you wanna put it, or where you want it to get what savings there are. I mean, this building, South Ware, the North Ware Fire Station. I mean, the roof is so small that I don't know how much power you can generate off of it, the solar array.
The town hall is the only one with a good exposure that I can think of off the top.
And that roof, I mean, it probably wouldn't pass the structural requirements.
You might, that's
No,
a thought.
I thought that Malcolm had mentioned that if we did decide at some point to do our own array, that we would then just stop, those payments would then stop, because then we would have but it wouldn't stop us from participating up until that point.
That's what I mean. I mean, they seemed like they were willing, you know, at least the way the discussion went, if something else better came along, we want it out. It seemed like they would let us out.
If that-
Because they can,
They'll sell
that
it.
power that we had,
Right.
were using, they could just get out some other town to take
Right.
it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I would be in favor of it, because what, do you recall, David, what was the amount we would save with the solar array at the safety complex?
It's predicted to provide 54% of the electricity usage, which supposedly was gonna be around 10,000, but I should check again before.
Is that, but is that
That's a rough
10,000,
figure
that's how
per
much
year.
they'd be saving a year? That's 106 in my head, but I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, I need to check again whether it's 10,000 was the savings or 10,000 is the usage.
So that, if that's the kind of money we're talking about, you know, and again, I don't think that anything else solar is gonna come along unless we got a fully covered grant in the next 20 years. If we could carve that out and we can get out of it, then I would say then that's.
And those grants, to be honest, the administration, the politics, way they're going away.
No, that's what I'm saying, I don't see anything happening in the near future,
in
but
the
also
near
if we can
future.
get out of it,
Yeah.
then that doesn't make, then there's no issue at all, should.
So seeing the contract makes sense, then we'll find out whether we can get out of it. We can read it carefully, we can run it by a legal counsel.
I'll send an email over to Malcolm and send it, his reply over to Bruce.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, thanks.
Because contracts, of course, until signed, they're all negotiable, so we can add any conditions
Right, we'll see what we get.
necessary.
Yeah, we'll see what we get before we even cross that bridge. I mean,
Sure.
it could have they could have that clause written right in there.
Also, did I remember that New Boston was one of the towns looking at it? We could check with another town.
I don't remember at this point, it's
Either.
been a month, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm old, I forget 2 months.
Me too.
Quickly.
I'd like to, you know, like a review from another town of what their experience was. So I'll try to track that down. So, review, okay. And then we would send that on to the board for the board to consider whether it's something they want to do, and we can decide whether we want to recommend for it or just report that this is available. And All right, any more discussion on Kearsarge for tonight? And I'll see, Steve, if I can get you that electric usage from Beth on Friday. I'm busy tomorrow.
I just have one question, Bruce. Is this something that the select board would vote on, like, just at one session, do you think? If they have the contract?
It's a, no, it's, I think we have to have a public hearing,
Oh,
because we're accepting funds from other sources, so we have to have an acceptance hearing.
okay.
So we post, but I'd get the sample contract before the board and discuss it ahead of time before then this board will have a chance to, recommend it or not.
Right.
Then they could choose to have a public hearing or not.
Oh, so they might not have a public
They
hearing.
have to have a public hearing, but if this board doesn't recommend it,
Well, no,
they
right,
might choose
right.
not to move
But
forward.
if it's recommended and people want to move forward, then there would absolutely be a public hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Malcolm just indicated that sort of, not that they're running out of spaces, but it did sound like people were lining up. Manchester, for example,
Yep.
was lining up wanting more.
Maybe that's
So-
the town to check on.
It doesn't take long to schedule a public hearing, though.
It doesn't, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, and maybe once we've committed, then they would reserve our spot,
Mhm.
so to speak.
All right. Next on the agenda. What's that? The audits, all four of them are here from Seeds. And I sent them around. Were you able to open them? I was feeling like I was having a hard time when I forwarded it, finding out whether the attachment went with the forwarded email. Good,
What Chris sent around is what I was able to open.
and not mine.
Yeah, I think I had the same problem. I think I had the
So-
same thing.
That's why, thank you, Chris, for resending them, because I think I did eventually figure out how to do it. All right, so we have audits on this town office building, South Ware Fire Station, Safety Complex, and the library. The library is in a different category, as I understand it, that they make their decisions of their budget, and how they're going to spend the money. But I just talked with Clay, the head librarian this afternoon. He said they're trying to raise some funds through a fundraiser for insulating the ceiling over the old part of the building at least, because that's a low-hanging fruit, cost savings measure.
David, we talked to them, it's probably been years now, but back when we started with this committee about hoping that they would be incorporating solar on the new addition. Any
Yes.
discussion about that?
They've backed off on fundraising for that $5 million plus, more or less addition, and they're doing smaller projects.
Yeah, they're doing some landscaping things and smaller projects to begin with,
New
Yeah, they're
bookshelves.
reassessing from when speaking
Yeah,
to Clay, when I spoke to Clay.
to gauge people's interest and,
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a big ask for
yeah.
Ware, and, yeah,
I just happened to walk through the police station yesterday,
yeah.
and they're all still fluorescent lights in there.
In the police side, and
Yeah.
that was one of Margaret's recommendations, was to put LED on the police
Yeah.
side. Fire side,
Yeah, fireside was all LED,
all LED.
yeah.
So
I don't know if
that's,
a New Hampshire Saves, maybe we could do some of that, right, with
so,
bulbs and fixtures for,
Yeah, that's actually part of my thing, is to reach out. So Eversource has received all of these audits,
Mhm.
so I can get in touch with the administrator and say, so what's available to us?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we can make any recommendations until we know what,
Yeah, yeah.
what's available and what they can assist us with. So that's on my list of things to do, is get in touch with, I've
Okay.
forgotten her name. I've got it,
Uh,
Jessie, I think, or
Jamie,
Jessie.
was it?
Jessie, I think.
Jesse, okay. Would you be willing to follow up on?
Yeah, it's my list of things to do.
Or Chris will follow up. Some of these things may have a short enough return on investment that if the town was ever not on a default budget, it might be worth spending.
Like, usually swapping
Yeah.
light fixtures like that is not a big investment,
Yeah.
if any.
Yeah, especially if you were changing the tubes, the fluorescent tubes, you might as well,
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Is there anybody who would be willing to read those very dense, choose one of those buildings and dig into it and see? I'm
Not
trying
it.
to delegate here.
Not it.
Not it.
I mean, I did, and I'm like, looks awesome. That's my analysis.
A lot of it is a lot of information plugged in that
Template.
we don't have to read about the U values and the heat loss coefficients and, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But she also has some, some more concise advice, like the lighting at the police side. She mentions,
Yeah, all lighting in the fire department has been upgraded to LED. Conversion to LED is recommended for the police department with an estimated analysis on page 9.
yeah.
So there is sort of a summary of things.
So then you go to the police captain and say, take money out of your budget, buy some LED lights?
You'd wanna, no. Eversource has a program to help pay for
Yeah.
this.
So that's my next, that's why I was saying I would, the,
Yeah.
with him is Jesse, so I would call Jesse and say, you've received the analysis, the audits, which is, so that's sort of like their first step for checking, well, one, seeing what needs to be done and having it sort of a valid, expert, analysis of it. So I'm gonna call Jesse and find out what kind of funding is available, and so then we can kind of,
And they meet, I haven't worked with public service on commercial things like this before, but, I mean, they may even have someone that comes out
yeah,
and looks at it and sees just exactly what we need
yeah.
to swap out and
And I think,
put a proposal
and
together.
if my understanding is correct, it's just like, Margaret, like they pay them directly, and we don't, to do anything, so they pay the vendor directly.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that's all, I think that might be the next step.
That's the start,
Before
yeah.
we make recommendations to anybody or anything like that. And we probably have to go to the board with these things saying, can we accept these funds
Oh.
and these work to get it done?
Right,
Got it.
right.
Yeah,
And then if there's things that
Awesome.
we can't, then we can go to,
And we have a building maintenance fund,
right,
That's what I was wondering.
so if
yeah.
it's a small enough number, which I suspect it will be,
yeah.
Right,
then
that's what I was
It could be a
wondering.
handful of things,
But-
yeah.
it doesn't need to go any,
But-
the selectmen can authorize, spending money out of the building maintenance fund to take care of it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I would imagine we could make some recommendations after we have all the information to say, like, here's, this would be covered, and then A, B, C, D are the things
Right.
that would be your biggest bang for the buck, kind of.
All right. I crawled up into the overhead upstairs of this building, and I feel that insulating, adding more depth of blown-in insulation up there is likely another one that would be worth it. So maybe New Hampshire Saves could let us know what the, whether there's I think there's usually a cost share.
For
They pay
insulation, yeah.
They pay for a percentage if the town puts up some. So if we can, again, get the offer on that.
That's not likely to be in a building maintenance fund, though, getting into installation like that would probably be a much larger number than light bulbs.
Blown insulation is not that expensive.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
And if,
Cool.
I have no idea.
I'll look into what the return on investment was that she predicted in the audit. And I also will look into the South Ware Fire Station, because I noticed that it seemed like for a building that's not used a lot, it's $3,321 a year for propane to heat that building that's, no one's in most of the time. I
The
guess,
Southware Fire Station?
yeah. So I'll check into what the thermostat setting is down there.
I think the biggest reason why they heat it is to keep the water from freezing that's in the trucks.
Yep, and the plumbing.
Yeah.
too. So, theoretically, 45 degrees would be,
Right,
Warm enough, yeah.
exactly.
and I'll discuss it with the fire department and see what I can find out. So I'll work on those two buildings a bit, and see what I can come up with.
So Chris, is it that you're reaching out to Jesse at New Hampshire Saves Eversource? Is that,
Yes.
okay. And so I wrote Chris Conroy to reach out to New Hampshire Saves Eversource to gather information that can be shared with the commission and the Board of Selectmen? Is that?
Yeah, just share it with the commission for now. The commission will put stuff together and
Right.
advance it to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay. And then I also noted, prior to that, safety complex, police station has fluorescent lighting, fire station has LED. Are there any programs available to allow for lighting to be upgraded in the Ware PD using grant funds through New Hampshire Saves, Eversource, or another program? Question mark.
Mhm.
Is that-
Excellent.
Yep.
Yep. All right, I'm sure this is gonna come up again. We'll put it on the agenda for next time to see what progress we've made. Barrington Solar, contract, I bugged, Ted Van Zant is the name of the, person I've been speaking with there, and he did provide a sample contract that would be contingent on the Ware voters approving, accepting the money. And the town would have to draw up a warrant article saying that the town has permission to pay Barrington Solar
It's good.
the bills for a month, and then the town can be reimbursed monthly, but the town has to front the money. And Bruce, you might want to say for the microphone what you're thinking about that.
I'm in favor of that project. I mean, it's just a matter of we have to sell it to the voters.
Right.
Yep,
Um,
yep,
You know, it's gonna be, we're gonna need, town revolving funds, just pay an invoice, get the money back, pay another invoice, get the money back.
yep.
If they had some kind of idea on how much, what kind of funding that would take on our part, what kind of cash do we need sitting there to be able to do that, to keep up with the
Yeah.
the revolution, if you
I can
call
ask
it
them
that?
what the monthly, since it's $119,000
Right,
grant,
we're talking 20,000 a month, 50,000 a month?
I think they're gonna build faster than that.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean, yeah.
So I
Especially
wouldn't be-
initially when they have to buy all the equipment,
Right.
It could be 60,000 in the first month, but
Right.
let me find out. Okay.
That would be a good, that would be a good number to know.
Mm-hmm.
Just to front it for that period of time.
Right, we got to front 60,000 for 30 days or whatever,
Yeah, so how much is kind of the biggest outlay?
And I'm sure it's gonna be the initial one or second one or whatever, it's gonna be close to the beginning of the project.
Okay. I'll track that down. Good, and as you said, we have to sell it to the town, so I
Right.
wish we had our banner, so we can, sit at our table and promote that. Maybe we can make a homemade banner for the first time,
Well,
and
that
be at
wouldn't-
some town events.
That wouldn't be till town meeting, right?
Right.
Till the deliberative session, but I think, I'm hoping there are chances to promote it.
Yeah, and I don't see a reason why, you couldn't set up a table in the lobby of the school saying,
school, but-
with an explanation of what we're doing.
At a chorus concert,
No,
At a
on day of
park.
voting.
at the day of voting. Yeah, that's a little late. I'd love to have find some opportunities for,
Well, one is
Or
that,
deliberative
Outreach.
session, you can certainly do it during a deliberative session, which
Yep.
is 2 weeks before voting day.
yeah,
one of the goals of the expo is just this. Each town who sponsors the expo has a table for free, and that's the purpose of it, is to have any initiatives like this that the town's
Problem is,
working
how
on.
many Ware voters show up at the expo? I mean, what voter base in Ware shows up at the expo? Which is who you're targeting, that's really the only people you have to convince. You
A
don't need
few
to convince
dozen,
people in
right?
Goffstown.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and you're right, there's, a bunch of different towns, but at the same time, it doesn't cost anything, it's free. And it is an opportunity to, it's goodwill, but you're right, I mean, it would be way more effective to set a table up at the dump on Saturday with the information and, answer questions there.
idea.
That would be,
Yeah.
that would be the best bang for your buck. But I'm just saying that that is an opportunity on the 18th of October for, for the commission to be a presence and, for the people who come by. And it isn't, here's the thing, it's also, it's a statewide event. And it sounds like we've got, two things that either are in the works or will have been decided, because it seems to me by October 18th, we probably should have decided the Kearsarge piece, and it wouldn't be bad to have that information out there, that this initiative, that the town has decided to accept this initiative that's gonna make the town $2,700 this year, whatever, however we wanna present it. So it'd really be two things, and, goodwill, this is what's happening, so, and doesn't cost a penny.
Good. I'm willing to sit at the table for a bit.
Cool.
So the Barrington Solar Project, did you say that we're still waiting to get kind of the tranches on that to figure out what amounts those will be in terms of our output and what we have to pay and then put in for reimbursement? But the grant of the $119,000, is that something that is kind of slated for the project? I feel like I'm missing some information.
It is Ware's to accept for a while more if we sign this contract, to say that we want it.
I see in the contract, is that that would go to the
This-
Board of Selectmen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, and so where are we at in that prize, the contract going to the Board of Selectmen now, or are we waiting to review it in a meeting? I'm just a little lost in where we're at in the process.
Bruce is saying he thinks in order to present it to the board, we ought to know what the biggest chunk of money is for any particular
Payment.
payment period.
We haven't presented it yet.
I see, okay, so, all
We
right.
don't
Step
know
one,
it. I
yeah.
do have, I sent you the contract, right? So we have the contract.
Okay,
The proposed contract, which they stressed we can modify, we can suggest modifications to.
In the meantime, what I'll do is, next time the Board of Selectmen meet, I'll bring it up and get everybody on board about getting a quick review by town council to make sure that there's no problem with this,
With that
signing
procedure.
that contract.
Yeah.
and there's no risk of rescission on those grant funds?
I definitely asked that question both of the New Hampshire Department of Energy and of Ted Van Zandt. And what I got from the DOE was, I don't know if I can find my exact notes. Anything is possible, but money is in a separate account and obligated. So, it would be hard for the federal government to claw it back from the New Hampshire Department of Energy at this point. And they don't foresee that happening. And, we've seen some things happen that we didn't think were gonna happen. Okay.
Indeed.
And this is your conversation with the local DOE?
The New Hampshire DOE, yeah,
You're taking
I can give you her name if you would like to put that in.
Yeah. I think it hurt.
That's it right there, Paige Ralph, Program Specialist at the New Hampshire Department of Energy. Up in Concord. I'll also ask if there's a possibility that they could just allow the town to split it up into even chunks,
Yeah, known numbers instead of
yeah, 4 payments of 40,000 or, some,
Yeah, I mean, that would.
does that add up right? No,
yeah,
30,000.
That would be,
Yep,
that way we know what kind of revolving funds we need.
yep. So I'll just ask for even payments question. If, if they go for it, it would make it predictable.
Right, right.
One would think they'd be open to that, working with municipalities. Be
Oh.
one thing if it were a homeowner, but
Depends whether they have that, they'd have to have that kind of,
Whether,
Cash
it's
savings.
more the vendor that's buying the stuff, be willing to wait. If they're paying $80,000 for equipment and they're only getting 40 back right away and have to wait 30 days to get the other 40,
so it's all questions worth asking.
yeah.
All right, we'll know more next month, I hope. Under other business, did you want to do any more report on the expo, or did you kind of put that in there?
yeah, no, we met last night, working on exhibitors and, yeah, chugging along. So, October 18th, 9 to 2. We're advertised in the Green Energy Times again.
Looks good.
So, we've got all sorts of people from upstate New York I fully expect will attend.
Okay, we'll see. We hope that a lot from Ware show up.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I want to add under other business, the energy contracts that the town has. I'm hoping that our commission can look into reviewing those contracts to see whether there's anything better out there. You want to be pretty careful not to, get any bait and switch kinds of deals, but I'm talking about the unleaded gas and diesel is a Dead River
Oh, I
contract.
see.
Heating oil and propane are Irving Oil. And electric is Constellation Energy, is the energy supplier. Eversource does the delivery.
Okay, so it's an alternate supplier, okay.
So we pay the delivery charge to
Right.
Eversource, they keep the lines open. But Constellation must have offered a little better deal, but
Well,
it's worth
I think
reviewing.
they're pretty much all alternate suppliers now, aren't they? I don't think
Yes,
Eversource makes
they
power
don't generate,
everywhere.
that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just, you pick it or Eversource picks it.
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
you're right. So, is there anyone who would be willing to look for other possible contracts? With, to check whether there are better rates on any of those propane, diesel, or heating oil? Or unleaded gas?
How long of a contract periods you have? 'Cause if you're in a contract, you just can't quit.
Right, no, it's a pretty big decision. It was actually the board asked us, the former chair of the board suggested this was something we ought to do, and I agree.
I think most of those fuel contracts are 12-month contracts.
Do you
But-
know when they expire?
No, I do not.
I mean,
Kind of depends when they were entered into,
right.
their anniversary dates.
And then what you're paying, because you could ask other people, but if you don't know what you're already paying, then you don't know
Yeah,
if you're getting a
you-
better deal.
You get the.
I've got those, Beth did give me those for the propane and diesel, so I have those.
Do we have underground tanks?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do we own the tanks, or do the tanks belong to the companies you already have a contract with?
Lots of things to research. Jason would know stuff up at the town garage. Someone at the police department would tell us about use of unleaded for those vehicles. Fire department would have to tell us about use of fuel and where the
Yeah, I'm
tanks
sure
are.
The buried fuel tanks, I'm sure we own. It's the only ones don't know about is the LP tanks.
Right. Because propane tanks buried belong to the company that you
Mhm.
have a contract with. So you have to sell your they have to agree to sell your tank, and the other company has to agree to buy it. And if they don't agree to it, then,
No, I know, I did that last year, I pulled mine out.
yeah,
That 1,000-gallon tank in my yard, I dug a hole and pulled it up, put a new one in.
yeah, yeah, they yelled at me when I
All right.
Sorry.
I've had a little experience with
So, yes.
a smaller
exactly.
tank. It sounds like you have some expertise, Steve.
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you've got to know who your contracts are, what your prices you're paying, because if you're making a phone call to another company and they're gonna ask, well, if I'm the other, just my general gist of it and common sense would tell me if I'm calling somebody to say, hey, I'm from the town of Ware and yada, 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 they're gonna say, well, what, you know,
Yeah,
are we binding, are we not binding, what are we talking about, are you wasting my time?
yeah. So you'd say you're doing research for the Ware Energy Commission, and I can forward you the propane and heating oil.
The heating oil is
Usage.
different from propane.
Right.
Heating oil, you own your tanks.
Right. Yep.
So that's, you know, like Bruce said, 1 year contract's up, you go out or request a bid and off you go, right?
Right.
Basically, yeah.
And you could stop in and
Yeah,
talk with
and
Beth.
essentially what you could do is, maybe the best thing to do is like identify
Other,
two other entities that would be, you know,
request a bid.
request a bid from,
Okay. Yeah, I can do that part,
you know what I mean?
because, I mean, propane,
Because Beth could put the bids out, you know, she could do the RFP saying, town of Ware, we do, you know, 10,000 gallons of diesel a year.
okay. Yeah, all right. That part, the diesel's easy. The propane's a difficult one because
Yeah.
again, I mean, I sat for 4 months waiting for the buying company was ready to go, the selling company was hanging me up, just because.
Oh, I know, that tank sat in my yard for 6 months.
Yeah, oh yeah, they usually do. Yeah, they don't come for them.
No,
No,
I
you
had,
deal with
I had to
it.
threaten them with charging them rent.
I would,
Yeah,
yeah, 1,000-gallon underground tank,
yeah.
I mean, depending upon how much you had left in it too, there's a fair amount of.
I
money.
waited until it was pretty much empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Above
we'd,
or underground? Second.
Back underground.
so you'd have to have a real, we'd have to feel we were overpaying seriously to make it worth doing
On
any
propane,
change
yeah.
on the propane.
On the propane, yeah.
But
You'd have
let's,
to-
Yeah, but I mean,
let's
believe
check.
it or not, I saved $1 a gallon by switching suppliers.
Yeah,
That's
That's a
significant.
big number.
That's, that would
Yeah.
make it
You know, I
worth.
burn almost 2,000 gallons a year.
All right, yeah, there's an example. Let's
Yeah.
hope the town isn't overpaying by that much.
who they would now.
The.
I think Irving.
They're with Irving on
Just who I'm
both
with now.
propane
Yeah,
and
they're
heating
usually
oil.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's hope we're fine and we don't have to
The problem is propane business is
Changing.
all shrunk, it's all, you know,
liquefy.
it's, no, it's,
Pure.
Oh,
Fewer
it's the
suppliers.
amount of competition.
Oh, I see.
There aren't that
you
many.
got, AmeriGas bought up Energy North and they're buying up all the small guys, so I mean, you got AmeriGas and Irving are the big ones right now.
Yeah, you
And all
got
these small guys,
Air and
they can't
Goss
compete
up
with
in,
them.
up in Henniker.
Yeah.
So
Their prices might be better, but they're hard to deal with,
Hmm.
air gas. The other one that might help, because they're trying to get a footprint in is Hafner's.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'd appreciate it, Steve, if you'd look into that. And do you want to just check with Beth? She's in the office, top of the stairs. Naomi's on the right, she's on the left. And she could tell you about the contracts, what the dates are. And if you wanted to take on the Dead River unleaded and diesel as well, but why don't you start with
Propane,
that and the,
time I'm going above ground and buying my own tank.
Now, doesn't the town buy, like in bulk with the state on fuel, some fuel or something, where it's all bought
There's,
through?
there's state contracts that towns can get it on. I mean, we do that when we buy police cruisers and stuff, because they get, the state makes contracts with certain vendors for certain things, and if you, sometimes the towns can get it on, sometimes they can't.
Beth also said that they were doing a pre-buy, but recently there was a year when the price of oil went down more and the
So-
pre-buy was higher than,
You got
so,
stuck paying a pre-buy.
so the town didn't do a pre-buy the next year.
Yeah.
Great, thanks, we'll look forward to hearing some progress on that. I will just note that I did a little quick math. and I was looking at the South Ware Fire Station, the town hall, the Sugar Hill Fire Station, so that's, and the Stone Building. So those are buildings that are basically empty, and we're paying $11,550 a year to heat them, so I want to look into thermostat settings and possible energy efficiency improvements on those buildings.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a pretty good chunk for not having people in there keeping warm.
Uninhabited.
Yeah, I mean, we pay more than that for police and fire and for this building, but, or you want them at 68 degrees or whatever.
Good function.
All right. Any other business to come before the meeting?
For me, yeah.
All right.
Just so the rest of you know, I think next month you're probably gonna see a new selectman here.
Yeah.
Benson Goodwin, he's one of
Look-
a new selectman.
Yeah, look forward to getting to know him. Sorry to see you go. Thank you for serving
Yeah.
for,
If you ever have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, you know,
okay,
I'm not
yeah,
saying I'm not saying stay away.
all right. And if you're still willing to bring the question of the...
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah.
That contract up.
Yeah, yeah.
That proposed contract.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Who wants to,
Make a motion to adjourn?
all right. Who wants to second it?
Second?
Liz seconds it. All right, Chris moved, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okey-doke. Good for us. We got,
We're already out the door.
Woo-hoo. Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
yeah, there's actually a lot going on, and we're in the middle of it. We haven't,
Nice.